Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This again is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Citizens of Minnesota, the USA, and the world, we are all living in a matrix of deception. The systems of this world will never allow you to share what you seek. You want peace and prosperity and joy of life. You want your dreams to come true. But no system devised by man can do that. Each man has his own opinion. Though some are common, they are the thoughts of creatures, not the Creator. Even if you narrowed it down to just a few representing the entirety of the human population, it still is no good. It doesn't matter what nation, the USA or Russia or China or Africa or whatever. What system? Doesn't matter, capitalism, communism or socialism or dictatorships. Or what people, black or white, male or female, they all have the same outcome. Poverty, crime and violence, lying and cheating, stealing, hatred, racism and bigotry, deception, murder, terror, and war. Each nation tells its citizens that their nation, their system, their faith, their people are the best on earth. And if it's not, then they blame some of the others. You were born in the USA, and all that it is, so are we. Wealth for some, poverty for the many, along with all the other vices. You are still told you are the greatest nation on earth. Chances are you're proud to hear this. And so you continue to promote this concept. Even your religious representatives accept this reality. They want just like everybody else. And so they went to the polls in 2016 and they voted for evil to lead the country and still stand by their choice as though such conduct is God proving their perception is God's view. And as you've been beat down, evil is taking over everything. Justice, energy, education, commerce, healthcare, you name it. The only other solution offered is to stay good. Don't rock the boat. And the life you dream of will be great, will be granted after you die. However, God has sent another message, and I'm here to deliver that message. God's love for you and what He has prepared for you. Yet you have a responsibility. You see, all you know is the creature's plan. Do you think that your neighbor is wiser than you on either side? Of course not. You're just as wise as anyone, and every last one of you, for the most part, have different beliefs, ideals. And so you're trying to implement your own ideas in some form of commonality, and yet it is what it is. But the Creator's plan is this. You are here in everything that you need for survival that the Creator did not give you the responsibility. The Creator did. For instance, this earth you stand on, this sky you see, the heavenly bodies, and the body that you're in, the oxygen that you breathe, the blood that flows through your veins, all of that, the Creator, not the creature. But the creature's responsibility for survival is food, clothing, shelter, education, and health care. Now, the creature is subject to the Creator, and the Creator, preparing that you would be able to meet these needs, gave each of you a little bit of gift, a little special talent that would allow you to engage yourself in the process of creating these goods and services that are so essential for your survival. Gave each of you a little part, something to do. You can call it a career of your own choosing. Knowing what it is, knowing who you are, and having the opportunity to do it has got to be one of the greatest joys that any individual could ever experience. And the greatest love is to give all of that gift, all of that talent, and all that joy that you have. Exercise it for not just yourself, but for your neighbor. For it has been said that there is no greater love than that you would share this kind of love. And what I'm sharing with you, ladies and gentlemen, is something that begins not yesterday, what you know nothing of, but from the day you came out of your mother's womb. And it ends, this conversation does, not after you die to some place that somebody has talked about, yet you and I know nothing of. But until that day you close your eyes and your next destination as far as the human race is concerned, truly, is in the grave or burned up. So this life that you're living, today is what is being addressed here. You see, for somewhere it was said that how can you love the Creator that you've never seen and can't deal with the creatures that you see every day? How can you be concerned about the creatures? How can you do it? How can you be concerned about the creatures tomorrow and not concerned about the creatures today? How can you believe that heaven on the other side is there waiting for you when you have the opportunity to live heaven right here and to play a part in it? It has been designed that way. So the Creator fixed it all up, made everything just right, and all you got to do is come here, live in these bodies, recognize what is essential for you to survive. Be grateful for the numbers of you that can engage and all of the beauty that comes from in your engagement, and how you can process that and make sure that not only are all of your needs, your wants, and your desires are met, but that your dreams come true. And there is nothing more special than that we call heaven on earth. And if there is a heaven someplace else, good. But the heaven or the hell today is in our hands. You came into a hellish situation. You have not known the truth that will set you free. Everything that you have been immersed in was deception and corruption. But God's love sends this message to you, that it is God that created you, not any man. And if you want the beauty of life, you must follow the plan of the Maker, not those who want to make you into what they want you to be, but rather allow you to be who you are. I don't know if you're going to get anything from this, ladies and gentlemen, but the intent is that you do. But if you don't, my job to this degree is met. But having engaged myself for 40 years in this message that I shared with you just now, you have never known. And God loves you. And so I say to all of the people on earth, the people in Minnesota, the United States, the people all in Russia, Canada, and all these other places of the world, let me tell you something. Every last one of you have been deceived. Every last one of you are living in deception today. But everywhere people are, there is someone like me, maybe 1, 2, or 3, or 4, that's out sharing the same message that is designed to set you free from the lie that you were born into and have been conformed and shaped and molded to be a special representation of, to deny the almighty power that is responsible for your existence. You can't see, can't touch it, can't feel it, but here you are, and that's no accident. So ladies and gentlemen, think about what I've just shared with you. Think deep. And if that was confusing, let me take 1 more minute to see if I can shape it so you can get it. It's all about you and government. Parents represent government. Parents for children, there usually are 2. So let's say one parent loves one child. Let's say, for the purpose of this conversation, that it's the mother who cares more about the son, treats the son like a king, and has a daughter that she treats like a snake. This particular parent represents a government that can be paralleled with being conservative, Republican. And let's think about the other parent who is in love with the daughter, treats her like a queen, treats the son like a snake. In stories told before, we heard that there was a government like that had Cain and Abel, and one of those ended up killing the other because of this form of government, a form of government that exists today. And this father's government represents liberal Democrats. And none of them can produce anything but what we have in the world today. The question is, how can we bring the mother, the father together so the children can be protected? And how can we bring the government of the parents along with conservatives and liberals, with Republicans and Democrats, to the same point, that it can produce and will produce what the Creator has planned for the creature? I spent 40 years, and I could find no one that understood enough to want to play a role. And so I had to ask myself, why is this? Why is this? I heard the answer 1,000 times, but it never registered like it has now. And that registry says this: if they knew better, they would do better. And so if they don't know, they got an excuse. So it is the duty and the responsibility of the one that knows to share the message. That's all you can do. You can't make a person do anything, but you can share. And if it is accepted, the results that I speak about heaven on earth will materialize at the hands of the people, not just here in Minnesota and the United States of America, but all over the globe. And that expression that I read somewhere, that I heard somebody say, will be done, that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's what I want. But that part is going to require us. It's going to require all of us. And getting angry with Donald Trump and all of those others who you can't stand is not the answer. They are victims just like we are. But since we know better, we must forgive them, not fight with them, not go to battle with them. We must forgive them and live as an example so that the blind, even the blind, can see by the love generated from us to their spirits. And that spirit will wake them up by the power of love. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This, once again, is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, saying so long.